God bless you, the mental health pastor here, Fernando Cottrell, and this is day 24 of the 30 Days of Better is Possible Challenge. And today we're going to talk about something that I believe is very important. If we're going to be successful in 2024 and beyond, we're going to have to do what we're going to talk about today, or we got to self-examine ourselves to see if we are doing this. And that is, are you cooperative towards change? Are you cooperative? Are you cooperative towards change? You know, many times we want better, we want higher, we want different, we want change, but we're just not cooperating with it. We're not cooperating with the resources. We're not cooperating with mentors. We're not cooperating with instructors. We're living in a way that the posture of our heart is not receptive for those who already have what you're trying to be or where you're trying to go. And so this is probably one of the things that's high on the list as a counselor and a coach. People know they need something else, but they're not willing to cooperate with it. They're not cooperative with the change or cooperative with the actions that will lead to change. And so that's the question today. Are you cooperative towards change? Are you willing to do what it takes for change, for growth, for progression, advancement, to be launched, to be propelled into what God has for your life? We cannot be sluggish. We cannot be lazy. You can't sleep all day and expect change. And so ask yourself, are you willing to cooperate with the resources that God brings to your life to get you to the next place, the next level of your life? So the question is, are you cooperative? Do you find yourself always resisting help? Do you find yourself always rejecting someone trying to help you because your pride has caused you to stay in the same place year after year, and for some reason now you think that's the best way? But the best way is to let go of your pride, let go of thinking you have the answers. You know, I talk to people all the time that always want to tell me, they call me for help, but then they tell me how I should help them. And then I have to, I don't try to hurt their feelings, but sometimes it gets into, well, me saying this, well, you called me as the expert. And it's something my mother said to me years ago. She came up to the school. I had got suspended, and the teacher was sharing with my mother my behavior and why I got suspended. I got put out of school for X amount of days, and I'll never forget this moment because it was a pivotal thinking moment for me. And as I was trying to interrupt the teacher with my version of the story and tell her and try to let my mom know, well, this is what really happened, my mom hit me in the head right in front of the teacher and other people sitting there, like bopped me. And she said this, and I'll never forget, she said, if you knew so much, why am I up here? If I had the answers and the solution, then why did she have to come up to the school and reinstate me? And that thing was really a moment that really got me thinking, because sometimes we try to defend ourselves when someone is trying to help us, and in defending ourselves, we're telling them, we're trying to direct how they should help us, or they don't have to help us a certain way because we already know this part of something. But the question is the same thing my mother asked me. If you knew so much, why are you in this situation? Why? She said, why am I up here? And man, I tell you, I can't, that thing really touched me. And I've carried that principle with me. When someone is trying to help me, I'm not going to sit here and over talk, try to get them to be convinced that, I got it together. No, the reason why they're there as a solution is because I don't have it together. And so I want to encourage you in 2024, we have to cooperate with the people God sends in our lives to help us. Whatever it looks like, we have to be willing. Scripture says, you be willing and obedient. God wants our hearts to be willing, not just willing and desiring it, but now to reach forth uh, in an effort to work with that solution, to work with that obedient act. And the obedience looks like us cooperating with the resources that God has purposed or placed in our life to take us to the next level. So the question is, are you cooperative towards your growth, towards change, towards being better? There are sacrifices. There are things you're going to have to do differently. You can't sleep all day and expect to walk in purpose. You can't ignore life and then expect to have better. Better is possible. Better is possible. But you and I, we have to cooperate with the possibilities that are connected to better. I can't even oversay that. We have to cooperate. There's some level of us that's going to have to move out of our comfort. We're going to have to be discomforted if we're going to move and change. If we're going to do better, we're going to have to do better. I'm in school, just to give you a quick story. I'm in school working on my doctorate degree. Now, I can't ignore studying and expect to pass tests. I cannot go to class or participate in the discussion boards and with other students and the professor and expect to pass. Do I feel like it all the time? No, I don't. But what's in view is being better. What's in view is me completing. So what motivates you to want to finish something? There has to be a motivation that helps you to cooperate with the change, to cooperate with the process leading to change. I remember when I was working on my master's degree, and I had my two of my girls were with me, and I said, I want them to see that the possibilities that they can have. I wanted them to see opportunities through me, through their father being older, going back to school, and they came to the graduation, and I felt proud to have them there as I got my master's degree. I wanted them to see me, to say, man, I could do something. And, I wanted it to serve as a motivation to them. And so my kids are my motivation. If you got children, your children should be the thing that motivates you to be better, because you always want your children to be better than you and to go farther than you. Sometimes we have to model the behavior that we want them to follow or be stimulated of the possibility that can exist or does exist. And so what motivates you to get up? What motivates you for change? What's I don't know if it's, what dream do you have? What dream do you have that that burns in your heart? You cannot do it ignoring working with the process, working with the resources, working with a mentor, working with a coach. So, are you cooperative? Are you cooperative towards change, towards the process, towards the resources that God will bring to your life? You cannot live in resistance to help and expect to go to the next level. I'm passionate about this because I understand. I used to stutter, but I always wanted to be a public speaker. I always wanted to be more courageous, but stuttering held me back. But that one day I got up on the city bus, and I'm going to do a part two because I have to share my story in this. I'm just giving a little, maybe I'll do the next video, but I remember getting up on the bus in New York, and and preaching and sharing the gospel. And it was that moment where my stuttering and my fear of being in front of people was taken. So we have to cooperate with something, a process, with God, with inspiration. And so cooperating means I don't have to always understand it. Doesn't mean I'm not afraid. Doesn't mean I don't have issues, but I know better exists and I want better. My daughter Nadia, the most quietest girl you ever could meet, I remember when she started making some traction in her life in her senior year. She said, I'm going to get my license. She wanted the car, got her car. She was just going after things. She said, no, I want to do it myself. I want to try myself. And I said, well, I'll help you. She said, no, how, basically she was saying, how am I going to learn if you keep helping me with everything? So she said, no, let me open the bank account. Let me do this. I'll do this. And I said, oh, okay. And then I asked her one day, what propelled you to, just come out of your shell like this? I just never, I was concerned because you were so quiet. You just wouldn't say a word in school. You know, you wouldn't know she was in the room. And then she said this one thing. She said, everything that I wanted or want or desire to have was on the other side. And she knew the other side meant she had to cross fear. She had to cross her anxiety. She had to ask God, because I will coach her and help her say, okay, just pray and believe God. We will meet and talk one-on-one. And she had to cooperate. She had to cooperate with change. You cannot ask for change and you don't cooperate with the direction where the change is. And so when Nadia said that, I said, man, that is so profound. She said, everything I wanted was over there and I'm over here. And there was this space in between. So now what? She was faced with, now what? What are you going to do? The driver's license is over there. Opening up a bank account is over there. And now she's a successful young woman. She's serving in the United States Navy. I had the privilege of watching her graduate and buy a car, all because she said, you know what? I'm going to cooperate. I'm going to cooperate with change. I'm going to cooperate with people, with the people that's going to help change. You can't live in resistance and expect change. You can't live in resistance to help, to motivation. No one has all the answers, but I would encourage you to get around people that have the answers you don't. One of the saddest things is to not know what you don't know, and you operate in the limitations of what you don't know. That's a sad place to be in a place where you don't even know that you don't know it, and you live in this struggled life when God has said, I've placed something in you that's going to require trust, posturing your heart towards him, and then cooperating with a process of sorts that will get you to where you need to go. The question is, are you cooperative towards growth, towards change? All right. God bless you.